Welcome to the channel. Have you ever felt like God is silent? You pray, you ask, you cry in secret, and it feels like nothing is happening. Maybe today you are tired of fighting, tired of waiting, tired of believing that something can still change. But there is one thing very few people understand. God's silence does not mean abandonment. Many times, God is working precisely in the moment when you think he has stepped away. And maybe this video did not appear in your life by accident, because there are signs, clear signs, that God is preparing something great for your life. The first sign is when everything starts falling apart around you. That sounds strange, doesn't it? But in the Bible, before every great transformation, there was a season of pain, confusion, and waiting. It was like that with Joseph. Before the purpose came the pit. Before the palace came the prison. It was like that with David. Before the throne came the persecution. And maybe what you call destruction, God is calling preparation. Because some doors only open after others close. Maybe God is removing people, environments, and situations that were preventing your spiritual growth. And it hurts. It hurts to lose. It hurts to wait. It hurts not to understand. But God never loses control of the story. The second sign is when you begin to feel an emptiness that nothing can fill. You try to keep acting normal. You try to smile. You try to move forward. But deep inside, something keeps disturbing your heart. Many people think this is weakness, but sometimes it is God calling you closer. Because when God wants to change a life, he begins by transforming the inside. Maybe you are realizing that things that once made sense now feel empty. Places have lost their meaning. Conversations have lost their value. People no longer feel connected. And do you know why? Because your spirit is realizing that something greater is waiting for you. The third sign is spiritual warfare. When someone is close to living something great, the battles increase. The mind becomes tired. Fear grows. Anxiety appears. Negative thoughts attack. And it feels like everything is trying to make you give up. But pay attention to this. The enemy does not fight against those who have already surrendered. The greatest battles happen close to the greatest victories. Maybe you have thought about quitting. Maybe you have thought that it is no longer worth it. Maybe you have even asked, God, are you still with me? And the answer is yes. God is still holding your hand, even when you cannot feel him. There's a powerful passage in the Bible that says, "For I know the plans I have for you." Think about how powerful that is. While you think about giving up, God thinks about restoration. While you see defeat, God sees purpose. While you see delay, God sees preparation. Not everything that takes time is denial. Some blessings require spiritual maturity before they arrive. Maybe if God had given it to you earlier, you would not have been ready to sustain it. That is why the process exists. And the process is not punishment. It is training. It was in the wilderness that Moses was prepared. It was in the wilderness that Jesus was strengthened. It was in the wilderness that many people discovered who they truly were. The problem is that nobody likes the wilderness. Everyone wants the promise, but few are willing to accept the process. And maybe today God is saying, do not give up now, because what you ask for in prayer is still moving in the spiritual world, even if you cannot see it, even if you do not understand it. Even while you are crying, God is still working. Maybe the people around you do not see your pain. Maybe nobody knows about the nights you cried alone. Maybe you are smiling on the outside while feeling broken on the inside. But God saw everything. He saw every tear, every silent prayer, every moment you almost gave up. And there's something powerful about this. God never ignores a broken heart. Sometimes we think God only uses strong people, but the Bible shows the exact opposite. God uses tired people, wounded people, imperfect people, broken people, because when God transforms someone who is shattered, everyone knows it was him. Maybe this is the moment to stop fighting alone. You do not have to carry everything with your own strength. There is a God who still performs miracles, a God who still restores families, a God who still opens impossible doors, a God who still heals wounded hearts. And maybe the greatest miracle God wants to do today is inside of you, because before changing your situation, God wants to change your soul. Before opening doors, He wants to strengthen your faith. Before the victory comes transformation. And do you know what is most amazing? Many times, the moment we think everything is over is exactly the moment God begins something new. So do not stop now. Do not abandon your faith because of a difficult season. Storms do not last forever. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And maybe tomorrow will be the day of the answer you have been praying for. Maybe tomorrow will be the beginning of change. Maybe tomorrow you will understand why God did not allow certain things to remain in your life. God sees what you cannot see. He knows paths you still do not know. And even when everything seems still, heaven is still moving in your favor. So keep believing, keep praying, keep seeking, because God still writes impossible stories. And maybe the next story will be yours. If this message spoke to your heart, write in the comments. God is with me. That strengthens your faith and also helps reach other people who need to hear this message today. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to receive more messages like this every day. Here, every video is a message of hope for people going through silent battles. And remember, God never abandons those who continue believing.